Mak Manaka is Soweto born. He comes from a very rich artistic heritage. He's published 3 collections of poetry, If Only, In Time, and Flowers of a Broken Smile. Many of his poems have been translated into various languages, including Italian and German. He's been in literary journals, newspapers. He recorded a dub poetry album, Word Sound Power. He's performed all over the world, including, I remember it was a moment of pride when he performed at the inauguration of former President Thabo Mbeki for all of us at the time, because it really felt like poetry was finally getting somewhere. Please welcome Mak Manaka.
I feel like grabbing liberation by the throat. This is for the Luthuli detachment, by the way. If we are going to honor Chris Hani, we must also honor his cadres. I feel like grabbing liberation by the throat, choking until it speaks the truth, until it admits that it was paid to fool us with the idea that we are free. Because if we are, why do we wake up to morning news about the struggle that continues attracting issues and more issues? Who am I in this life story? I feel like a puppet playing on guitar strings, composing instruments with a tortured tongue, and listening to the wind reciting poems of fallen heroes who caress the skin of every township. Because liberation in this land is an elusive. Mudimu, is an elusive time bomb ready to explode, and any minute from now it'll explode into 1,000 pieces of hope. My question is, Mafrika, will we cope? Because even after the independence, we were still prisoners in a system that is serving us rotten food on dirty plates and tricking us to drinking foul waters poisoned by them, them that cling on corners of destiny. Where art thou, humanity? Ha! It's so sad to see what the global society thinks of you and me. Just dump it in Africa and let them marvel and gravel of our leftovers, while some of us believe in this mystified dust, and most of us want to free us from this illusion, a foreign intrusion pressing down on delicate shoulders of a man who saw the sun once in the eyes of his little daughter behind bars of life imprisonment. My brother down the road dwells in a cell he calls home. A desperate woman measures image with a comb, ready for drugs and liquor, while the baby kicks for help in her womb. Tell me, can you hear that baby? I shout. Tell me, can you hear that baby, my sister? A child cries, another man dies. Conspiracy and corruption from the government flies. And they said we are free. And they said you and I, Mkaya, are free. But where is the education that is supposed to be free? And they said we are free. They keep reshuffling, changing faces in cabinets, but never for land, never shuffling the land. And they said we are free. Yes, I feel like grabbing liberation by the throat, choking until it speaks the truth about Mpondo soldiers in that Mendy boat, about the Cape's racist leather coat of Jan van Riebeck and Cecil John Rose Mudimu, because sons and daughters of the revolution are dying of great expectation. See them bleed of desperation. 10 years from now, I don't want to see myself as a struggling writer. Kojo man. 10 years from now, Mkaya, I really do not want to see myself as a struggling writer, juggling words to provide a family. And so change and expand are my biggest priority, while I emancipate myself from mental slavery, because no one but us, in the words of Maishe, Ratoba Gunda, Ratoba Bolaya, Ratoba Faranga Milenge. Moriwese. Joaga praise. Things are just too tight, my friends. Where have the waters from the mountain gone? Where are the love letters from the sky? My feet yearn to drink the wine of days I've never lived. Where are the women? No men, just women, 'cause men do not men no more. And so I want to women and know my blood. Whose dance will the dust speak of when our drums forget the cows in our tongues? Who will circumcise the foreskins of patriarchy from these little boys, Murimo? Who will shelter daddy's little girl from society's regal image of fatherhood when her father's hook vacuums a little girl's brook until she jumps with umbilical cords tied around her neck, trying to forget? You, yes you soulful soldiers of a cynical society, well, when your voices leap out of those dusty pages and cause a rampage of change. Yes, we know the past left our hearts rotting in that dirty cage, but I refuse to choose between compromise and mental bondage, especially in this time of self-rage. I pray to be the best among shadows that linger the darkest corners of my forest, because lately it has become too black and white for me to see. Though sunshine can sometimes recite music through poetry, and I'm the musician with no visa petition, and so my image was denied. So back to the future I trot, in search of honesty and sincerity, because nowadays our days are enslaved by thought. But how do I carry darkness back to my house? Because home is love and light. All right, Mkaya? And so in the present, I must remain, cleansing our cows of normal insanity. Their future will have to take another shot of Amsterdam mainstay, because our identities are forged on a sidewalk of a rich man's pavement. It's now slavery for entertainment, and so we walk, carrying empathy in our wallets, ignorance in our content, and nameless contents that engraved names on walls that forgot who was here first. Ha! Khoisan, it's your time. Make them remember. Mpondo, it's your time. Make them remember. Basara, Mahrikwa, Kupi, Morolong, it's your time. Manaka, it's your time. Make them remember. Together we'll make them remember. Because your art of survival is slowly fading behind the shadows of the Himalaya. In the dark it was written, and through light it must be spoken. Where is the Khalakari in our parliament, and not the coat of arms with that stolen arms code, but the sand of defiance that used to live on Shaga's feet? Where is the rhythm of change that lived in Sobuka's heartbeat? I, as a poor youth, questions. Mudimu, Kilabana. I, as a poor youth, questions. Where are the statues of our forgotten heroes in the dingy corners of our ghettos? Whose heritage is this am I forced to be fond of? Heritage Day, Pride Day. What do you want me to do, Ma Africa? You expect me to pry my legacy away? And out of all this rubbish, a voice of reason shouts, we need our own to look up to, Mkaya. We need our own to look up to, because sons and daughters of the revolution are dying of greed and expectation. See them bleed of desperation. Ha! My grandmother used to say, son, no, don't you politic. In the dark it was written, and through light it must be spoken, that our liberation was born out of fear. How long should freedom whisper false light in our ears, actually, Ma Africa? Believe me when I tell you, poverty and xenophobia will be some child's Christmas gift this year. No, don't you politic. The junkie poet ODs from love. The humble, presentable president dies from alcohol. The holy hope in the heart of our pope signs the church to liars that carry papers of misdirection. Why should the human heart feed off corruption? Listen to the white elephant crying to me and you, singing Chimurenga and the blues in search of food and any pair of shoes, because children born of ruins are getting lost. I'll kill Cecil John Rhodes twice if I go to heaven. Are getting lost in their own colors of pride. She worked herself to death, hoping to make a bit of wealth, but then she suffered more when politics came knocking at her door. I was born in the warmth of her blues, raised by her laughter, taught how to walk in her shoes. My grandmother used to say, son, man walks out in his family for another man, while mother murders her feelings trying to understand, and their children bury their anger with beach sand. Durban can be depressing in summer. How crooked was the hand that wrote you that love letter, my sister? But I, as a sinner, will tell you it will get better. Just believe when grandmother echoes, because they will hurt you.
This is an opportunity for all of us to reflect, not just on a man like Chris Hani, but what he lived for and the values that he had and the foundation that he left for us. What does Chris Hani mean to you?
Sure. Well, you know what? I mean, for me, I feel that what he sacrificed was a lot. And he and his cadres, what they sacrificed was a lot. But they were people that actually were able to, who had the courage to stand for their convictions. So this is what Chris Hani represents for me. You know, when I was asked to write a poem about Chris Hani, I was like, hold the phone. I actually have Chris Hani in my poems. Each and every poem of mine has Chris Hani in it. So how do I write a poem about Chris Hani, really? Because he represents something that my family also stood for, that even when you were getting shut down, you're getting actually, you still believe in your convictions. You know, you stand for what you believe in, essentially. So that's what Chris Hani represents for me. And the military detachments and all the detachments, the MK cadres who seem to have been forgotten by this amnesia country, you know, ultimately. See how they dance attention into a trance and jazz pain off our hands. Born to wait, stronger than yesterday and weaker than now, see the energy in their frowns. Look how they steal our crown and treat us like clowns. They forgot that in the past our feet stomped and said in their hearts. We sing only to bring classism to a standstill. Listen to the anger in our poems because our music has not been written yet and our history was twisted. We engrave tolerance on time's hands. We are shadows behind the curtains in your shows. Sons and daughters of patience. I respect your strength. You are the everlasting beauty of our spiritual wealth. Walk away from the oppression and your insecurities, because lately words are bad for my health. So far in the books of history I march in search of honesty and sincerity. Mudimu. Passion is mean, my Africa. You know, passion is hard. We stand up on stage, this is not a joke. Passion is mean, passion is hard, and sometimes passion pays no bills, Mr. Minister of Arts and Fart. This is not a joke. Passion is hard, passion is mean, and sometimes passion pays no bills. But I refuse to be a machine because they are turning our hearts into poison. Built for death who were doomed at birth. What are you teaching our children? What? Compromise yourself in a situation? I refuse to compromise my truth for the chains of conformity. Because naked mics and written verses are yearning for honesty. Their world is smaller than our stage. Our spirits are stronger than their rage. We are more than names on your page. Listen to the gumboot in our voices as we dance to Pakistan groove hip-hop with quite to slang English come to the wind moves to our rhythm. The energy in our talents is priceless, yes? The energy in our talents is priceless. So their crap stops now. Not before, after, but now. They will not hurt us no more. They will not swallow our feet no more. They will not shut down the spirit of horror cafe in our hearts no more. You and your gentrification of Newtown, you will never do that no more. We are not the ornaments on your doors. We are the untouchable cause of Mali, Marvin, Dylan, Taiwan, Mklana, North Singana, Sisters of Trade on Paradise Road, Ayashisa Mateki, Tafamo in Itzakani, Pico, Tiro, Hendrix, with the music in your books, descendant of the Griqua, descendant of Batswining, descendant of Barolung, descendant. Rhythm knows my name. Kena Maakomele wa ka fa phukujim phatlele le khotlo le sepela bosigo mjegare ke chabaloe kena mokono tshi digolo mala khophala mokono wa la tlhantla khane wa topa eno humale ka dinala aha ipolele ngwana monna. The truth about nature is that it never lies. So it's in our nature to be. Our children will not be afraid of our Gia.